house, right? Next door. I have a neighbor in my building, and she has a pug. You have to need an emotional support. You have to have like emotional support certificate or whatever in order to have a pet in our building. So it comes with all the fees, and then you have to prove that you're psychologically in need of an emotional support animal. So she has a pug named Gus, and it looked like that pug we just passed. I think it's funny because she kind of drives people crazy, but yet she's actually the one who needed the animal. Yet she wants other people to look crazy. It's funny, ironic. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? Is that right? I don't think it's Gus. That one had different colors. Gus is more fawn in color, so no, they do Intel only at Lee's. It's an Intel hardware store. He doesn't have to sell anything. So spread the disease, spread your legs, or spread them in the whole 9 yards. Which way? Go this way? Okay. Illinois in the house? Is anyone annoying and ill? Like needing an emotional support animal? I wouldn't mind getting a certificate. I would have to actually get a specific diagnosis, like official. That costs money, and no one's ever available. Ever since the pandemic, it's been like, is anyone ever available? Also, there's too much money involved, and I would worry about having a dog or cat. One, I do overnights for other people, so that's an issue. I wouldn't want to be absent on my animals to take care of someone else's animals. But also, I had 3 cats at one point here in the city, and I feel like I started to wonder, like, because I experienced something really weird, if they died, like 2 of them in time for me to have an attempted murder on my life. The 4th Monday of January 2011, and then the last one dying like a year after all that started. I wondered if it could be orchestrated by the powers that be. And I don't mean God, I mean people who control people's lives too much. So, speaking of God, Heaven's Gates, Pearly Gates, whatever. So I was talking in another video about a cat that I had to adopt. I felt a little pressured, but I felt sorry for the cat. His owner went into a nursing home, and I had been taking care of him. On the side, I was doing pet sitting. I was had a large freelance writing contract, so I had a bunch of freelance writing contracts, but it's hard to keep that up all the time, and sometimes you don't make enough money to pay rent and stuff like that. So I did this on the side, and I felt so sorry for this cat. He was living in a co-op, a yucky one, 2101. And the owner might have had a lot of health issues, or could have even been an alcoholic. I wondered, because the apartment was a total wreck and the cat was practically feral. But I brought him home, and I wound up with 3 cats. Then I wound up in an apartment called Pine View above Dirty Frank's bar. And all of a sudden at some point, he was, I was there for a few years, and after like a year and a half, he lost his balance. I forget. Anyway, and I was like, what's going on with Bogey? And Bogey I had earned his trust. He became unferal, if you will, and was more domesticated, and was okay with me as a person and my cats. And I'm very gentle and nice and sweet. And I don't abuse animals in order for them to listen to me, you know what I mean? Like, some trainers are very abusive. They use too much crating and stuff like that to impose rules, and it's a sign of abuse in a personality. But anyway, one day I came home from a job that I had, and Bogey was off balance and hiding in the closet. And I'd had a cat before who exhibited the similar behaviors, and I guess it's kind of normal. But I was upset because I saw Bogey as being younger than the 2 cats I already had. I don't know if he was, and I don't know what kind of health he was in when I adopted him. It was just sort of a handoff, and someone gave me a whole bunch of cat food to take the cat kind of thing. And I didn't have so much money that I always paid for vet bills, you know what I mean? Like I didn't do tons of vet visits. So anyway, I took him into UPenn 24-hour, and they said they believed he had a cyst, which caused, you know, this imbalance. And it would probably be better to put him down. They showed, you know, me everything they found or whatever. I was really sad and crying all over the place. I felt so sorry for Bogey, and I went through a phase of, this Pineview Apartments used to be owned by Pearl Properties. I live in a Pearl Properties now. I didn't necessarily want to live in a Pearl Properties, but because I had a good record with them, they were willing to sort of approve me really quick. I needed to get an apartment really quick without all the rigmarole of going through, like, sending, you know, credit report stuff and all the stuff you're supposed to do, all the formalities. On the flip side, sometimes, you know, in a way, people can be taken advantage of in that situation. It's like you're not supposed to complain, you're supposed to be grateful, unless they love people like me because they can do certain things. Like, it's hard to tell. But